I slept peacefully in my hotel room, but there was a dead body under my bed. My name is Williams. I'm a pilot. I'm handsome, peaceful, and good looking. I don't like trouble, but I just found myself in a very big problem. As a pilot, I sleep in hotels after landing at the airport, but one of the hotels I slept in put me in trouble. My life was going smoothly until that fateful day. On that fateful day, I landed in Lagos State in the evening. As usual, I headed to the hotel booked for me by the airline I work for. I was supposed to spend the night there and then fly out again the next day. After checking in, I went straight to my room, exhausted from the long flight from London. I took a quick shower and jumped into bed, ready to catch some sleep. But as I lay there, I started perceiving a bad odor, like something was rotting. I tried to ignore it, thinking it would go away. The smell was unbearable, like rotten eggs. I searched everywhere in the room, in the closet and in the bathroom, but I saw nothing out of place. I even checked the air conditioner and the fan, wondering if they were working properly. I thought maybe it would be a dead rat in the ceiling. Still, the smell persisted. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. I looked around the room again, this time more carefully, but everything seemed normal. The bed was made and my luggage was neatly arranged. I tossed and turned, trying to get some sleep, but the odor wouldn't let me. I threw off the covers and got out of bed, deciding to investigate further. Maybe housekeeping could help me figure out what was going on. I picked up the phone to call the front desk, but then I thought, maybe I'll just go downstairs and get some fresh air. The smell was really getting to my nose. I grabbed my key and headed out of the room. As I walked out, I locked the door, thinking I'll deal with the smell in the morning. Downstairs, the reception area was quiet, except for a few staff members chatting behind the counter. I approached them and asked if they knew what was causing the bad smell in my room. They apologized and promised to send someone to check it out. I decided to spend the rest of the night at the reception, hoping the smell wouldn't follow me back to my room in the morning. I sat down on one of the sofas and tried to relax. The staff offered me a bottle of water and I accepted gratefully. The night passed slowly and I didn't get much sleep. Every now and then I dozed off, but the smell would flash back in my mind and I would wake up. I kept thinking about the strange odor and what could be causing it. Was it something in the room or was it just my imagination? As my first light of dawn crept in, I decided to go back to my room and pack my bags. I had a flight to Captain later that day and I needed to get ready. As I entered my hotel room, I was greeted by a group of police officers. They were searching everywhere, talking in hushed tones. I wondered what was going on. One of the officers approached me and asked if I was Pilot Williams. I said yes, and he asked if this was my room. I told him it was. Before I could ask what was happening, he handcuffed me and read me my rights. I was shocked and asked what I was being arrested for. You are accused of murder, the officer said sternly. I was taken aback. Murder? What are you talking about? I asked, trying to process what was happening. The officer didn't answer my question. Instead, he led me out of the room and I saw other officers gathered around the bed. They seemed to be focused on something under the bed. I didn't know what to think. We found the woman you killed last night. You hid her under your bed, the officer said to me. I was shocked. I didn't kill anyone. As we reached the reception area, I saw the hotel staff looking at me with a mixture of shock and fear. I tried to explain to the officer that I didn't kill anyone, but he just kept repeating the same questions. Did you sleep in this room last night? Did you notice anything unusual? I answered his questions as best as I could, but I couldn't understand why they thought I was a killer. The officer in charge, a tall, imposing figure, kept looking at me like he knew I was guilty. I felt a surge of anger and frustration. How could they think I'll do something like this? I'm a pilot, for goodness sake. I travel the world, following rules and regulations. The thought of being accused of murder was strange. Just then, one of the officers called out from the room. Inspector, we have brought out the dead body. The inspector walked back into the room and I followed him with my eyes. That's when I saw it, a body lying under the bed. I felt terrible. I didn't know what to say. The officer turned to me and asked if I recognized the woman. I shook my head, still in shock. Pilot Williams, you are coming with us. We need to ask you more questions at the station. You are the one who killed this woman. I was shocked by his words. I was still trying to wrap my head around what was happening. As we walked out of the hotel, I saw people staring at me like a murderer. I was embarrassed. They took me to the station and locked me up for a crime I didn't commit. I sat in the dirty cell, feeling like my world has ended. The world seemed to be closing in on me, and the smell was unbearable. I was sorrowful, broken, and scared. The thought of spending years in jail for a crime I didn't commit was suffocating me. I wept uncontrollably, wondering how my life had taken such a drastic turn. The cell was cold and dark, and I felt like I was losing hope. I thought about my family, my friends, and my girlfriend Mary. Would I ever see them again? The first 3 days were the hardest. No one came to visit me. No one asked about me. I was left to rot in that cell, with nothing but my thoughts to keep me company. I paced back and forth, trying to find a way out, but there seemed to be none. I was starting to lose my grip on reality. The isolation was taking its toll on me. I felt like I was going crazy. I would shout for help, but no one would come. I wondered if the police even contacted my family. Even the airline I work for did not show up. My girlfriend may not be aware that I am here. On the fourth day, a policeman came to my cell. He brought me some food, which I devoured hungrily. The food was tasteless, but I didn't care. I was just grateful for something to eat. The policeman told me that the food was provided by the police since no one had come for me. I asked him if I could make a phone call and he nodded. I asked to call my girlfriend Mary. He gave me my phone which was seized earlier. I dialed her number and she answered on the first ring. "Hello," she said. Her voice was trembling. I could hear the fear in her voice. "Mary, it's me," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "Where are you? I've been looking all over for you," she said, crying. I took a deep breath and told her everything that had happened. She listened attentively, and when I finished, she said, "Williams, you can't hurt a fly. I know you didn't do it. You didn't kill anyone. You are innocent, and I will prove it." Her words brought tears to my eyes. I felt a lot of hope. "I'm coming with a lawyer," she said firmly. "Don't worry, we'll get you out of there." I felt a wave of relief all over me. Knowing that Mary believed in me gave me the strength to keep going. We talked for a few more minutes, and then I had to hang up. The policeman took me back to my cell, and I continued to suffer. The cell was dirty, and I was starting to feel sick. I was there, depressed and dying inside. I have never been arrested by the police. I'm not into crime. This is my first time in a police cell. As the days went by, I started to lose hope. No one from the airline had asked about me. They just abandoned me like I meant nothing to them. I started suspecting that someone had set me up from within the airline. Maybe someone who wanted to get rid of me had planned this whole thing. The thought sent shivers down my spine. I didn't know who to trust anymore. I felt like I was all alone in this fight. The policeman came to visit me again, and I asked him about the investigation. He told me that the police had evidence against me, but he didn't specify what it was. I begged him to tell me the truth. Was I really going to spend years in jail for something I didn't do? This policeman looked at me with a mixture of pity and skepticism. I could tell he wasn't sure if I was telling the truth. As I sat in myself, I thought about my life before this incident. I was a pilot, flying planes, and traveling the world. I had a good reputation, and people respected me. How had it come to this? I was a decent person, always following the rules. I didn't deserve to be in this situation. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that someone must have set me up. But who is that person? Was it my boss, Mr. Kane? Mr. Kane doesn't like me, but I'm sure if he would go as far as setting me up, whoever it is, I will find out. The day turned into weeks, and I started to lose count. Mary came to visit with a lawyer, and they brought some hope into my life. The lawyer told me that we would fight this case, and he was confident that we would win. But I knew it wouldn't be easy. The evidence against me seemed strong, and the police were convinced that I was guilty. They kept saying they found a dead body in my hotel room and that I killed her. I just had to prove them wrong. Mary's visit gave me the strength to keep going. She believed in me, and I knew that she would do everything to help me. The lawyer worked tirelessly to build a case for my defense. I was grateful for their support, but the doubts in my mind lingered. Would I be able to prove my innocence? Only time would tell. As I lay on the dirty floor, I thought about my future. Would I ever fly again? Would I ever be able to clear my name? The uncertainty was killing me. I knew I had to stay strong, but it was getting harder by the day. I hope I'll come out strong. I was falling apart, both physically and mentally. The police cell was a breeding ground for diseases, and I was the perfect candidate. I started feeling weak, my body aching all over. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. The stress and depression were taking a toll on me. I was getting weaker by the day. The police didn't care. They just locked me up like I was a hardened criminal. I was a pilot, for goodness sake. I had nothing wrong. The days blurred together as I lay on the dirty floor, too weak to even sit up. I could hear the sounds of the policemen outside my cell, but I didn't care. I just wanted to rest, to get better, but the police weren't interested in my health. They came to the cell, shouting and threatening me. I didn't know what they wanted, but I knew it couldn't be good. I tried to sit up, but my body betrayed me. I fell back onto the floor, exhausted. Mary, my girlfriend, came to visit me again with a lawyer. They applied for bail, but the police refused. The crime he committed is not bailable, they said. I was shocked. What crime? I hadn't committed any crime. The lawyer argued with the police, but they wouldn't budge. They said I would be charged to court, and that's where my fate would be decided. I felt a surge of fear. What if I was found guilty? What if I spent years in jail for something I didn't do? The police took me out of my cell and asked me to write a statement, but they weren't interested in the truth. They wanted me to admit to the crime. Just sign this. You will spend less time in jail, they said. I refused. I knew I didn't kill anyone, and I wouldn't admit to something I didn't do. The police got angry, shouting at me and threatening me. One of them even slapped me. I collapsed. My body was weak from depression and exhaustion. Mary was there and she started crying. She couldn't bear to see me like this. She chartered a vehicle and took me to the hospital. Even there, the police followed me, standing beside my hospital bed as I was being treated. I felt like a prisoner even in the hospital. The doctors tried to comfort me, but I was beyond consolation. I just wanted to get better, to clear my name, and go home. The hospital was a welcome relief, but I knew it was temporary. The police would take me back to that dirty cell, and I wouldn't be able to escape. I thought about my career, my reputation, and my freedom. All of these were at stake. I knew I had to fight, but I didn't know how much longer I could hold on. The police were determined to pin this crime on me, and I didn't know if I could prove my innocence. A few days later, I recovered enough to be discharged from the hospital. The police took me back to the cell, and I was plunged back into darkness. The cell was just as dirty, just as smelly, and just as depressing as before. I lay down on the floor, feeling hopeless. Would I ever get out of this place? Would I ever clear my name? I didn't know, but I knew I wouldn't give up. As I lay there, I thought about Mary and the lawyer. They were fighting for me, believing in me. I knew I wasn't alone, and that gave me the strength to keep going. I would fight this case no matter what it took. I would prove my innocence, and I would find out who was behind this crime. The thought gave me a lot of hope, and I clung to it, determined to survive this ordeal. The days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months. I lost count of time, but I knew I was getting weaker. The food was bad, the cell was dirty, and the stress was killing me. I thought about my life before this incident, and I couldn't believe how things had turned out. I was a pilot flying planes and traveling the world. Now I was a prisoner accused of a crime I didn't commit. I knew I had to stay strong to keep fighting, but it was getting harder by the day. The police didn't care about my health, my well-being, or my rights. They just wanted a conviction. Any conviction. I was a means to an end, a statistic in their books. I knew I had to prove them wrong, to show them that I was innocent, but how? The lawyer came to visit me again with Mary, my girlfriend, and was discussed the case. He was confident that we would win, but I wasn't so sure. The evidence against me seemed strong, and the police were determined to pin this crime on me. I knew I had to trust the lawyer and Mary. Mary told me she has a plan. She said she wants to get to the root of the matter. before the case would go to court. I had no idea what she was planning, but I trust her. I hope she successfully gets me out of here, even without going to court. She said she was going to the airline where I used to work. She said that the fact that they did not come for me gives her a clue that someone there was behind my problems. What she said made sense. She has gone out and I'm waiting for her to come back to the station to tell me what she discovered. I was sitting in my cell, feeling hopeless. The days were hard, and I didn't know how much longer I could hold on. But then I heard the sound of footsteps outside my cell. The door opened and Mary walked in. She looked determined, and I could see the fire in her eyes. I've got news, she said. I looked up, eager to hear what she had to say. Mary told me that she had gone to the headquarters of the airline where I worked. She had been investigating, trying to find out who was behind my ordeal. She said she entered the building secretly, not wanting to draw attention to herself. She asked for the MD's office, and the staff showed her the way. She claimed she was looking for a job, but her real intention was to get close to the MD. Mary said she dressed provocatively, knowing that the MD would fall for her beauty. And that's exactly what happened. The MD said there was no job opening, but he liked her, so he employed her as his personal assistant on one condition, that she would be sleeping with him. Mary agreed, but not because she wanted to be with the MD. She did it to investigate who was behind my problems and to get evidence that would clear my name. As personal assistant, she had access to the MD's office and his schedule. She was determined to find out what was going on and to gather evidence that would prove my innocence. I was shocked, but also grateful for Mary's bravery. I knew it wasn't easy for her to do what she was doing, but she was doing it for me. Mary told me that while she was in the MD's office, she overheard a conversation that made her blood run cold. The MD answered a call from the police DPO at the station where I was detained. She heard the MD telling the police DPO to make sure I went to jail. The MD said I saw what I wasn't supposed to see, and that's why he framed me. He said he did it so that I wouldn't expose his secret. I was stunned. The MD was behind my ordeal. Why? What secret did I see? I was trying to remember. I had so many questions, but Mary didn't have the answers. Not yet, at least. She said she was going to continue investigating to find out what was going on and to gather evidence. I knew I could count on her, and that gave me hope. The MD's words kept echoing in my mind. He saw what he wasn't supposed to see. What did I see? Was it something to do with the airline, or was it something personal? I racked my brain trying to remember anything that might have triggered the MD's action, but I couldn't think of anything. Then that evening, when I was talking to my girlfriend, I finally remembered. There was a day I was supposed to fly to Dubai. I saw a briefcase in the cockpit. Out of curiosity, I opened it. I saw illegal drugs. I saw the MD's name on it. He had given it to the co-pilot to deliver to someone in Dubai. What that means is that the MD uses the airline pilots to take drugs abroad. When the co-pilot came, he was angry that I opened the briefcase. That day, I refused to fly the plane. The MD was informed. That was when my problem started. The MD recommended my sack, but the owner of the airline saved me, insisting I was a good pilot. But from that day, the MD hated me because he knows I know his secret. I now remember why he framed me. I told Mary about this and she believed me. Mary's visit gave me a sense of determination. I knew I had to fight to prove my innocence and to expose the MD's secret. I would do whatever it took to clear my name and to bring the MD to justice. I was grateful for Mary's bravery and her determination. Together, we would get to the bottom of this. As Mary left the cell, I felt a sense of hope that I hadn't felt in a long time. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I was ready to fight. I would do whatever it took to prove my innocence and to expose the truth. The MD might have thought he had gotten away with it, but he was wrong. I will make sure that justice was served. The days passed slowly, but Mary continued to investigate. She would visit me regularly, updating me on her progress. I was grateful for her love and support, and I knew that I couldn't have made it without her. Together we will overcome this. I will emerge stronger on the other side. You are a good man. You didn't do anything wrong, she tells me each time she visits. The thought of the MD's secret and his role in my ordeal kept me going and determined to be free. I was determined to expose him, to bring him to justice. I would do whatever it took to make sure that the MD paid for his drug dealing crime. The fire in my belly was burning brighter than ever, and I knew that I would see this through to the end. As I sat in my cell, I felt a sense of determination that I hadn't felt in a long time. And I know where my problem is coming from. Mary has helped me trace where the problem started beating me. The case is going to court next week, but I'm trusting on my girlfriend and my lawyer to help save me from jail. My family members are still not aware that I'm in detention. I didn't want to disturb them. Besides, I knew it would be a matter of time before I would be out. My mother has hypertension. All my younger siblings are in school. I don't want anything to disturb their minds. I will bear this alone with the help of my girlfriend Mary. This is my fight, and I'm prepared to win. Lawyers will say the police are not supposed to detain someone for more than 24 hours. I laugh when I hear this. I've been in this company of months. People come in and leave, and I'm still here. Someone is paying to keep me here, I am very sure. One day, the police brought me out of my cell again, and I wondered what they wanted this time around. The DPO was sitting behind his desk with his pot belly. Pilot Williams, we need to ask you something, he said. Do you remember anything unusual happening on your plane the day you were supposed to fly to Dubai? I thought back, and suddenly it clicked. I remember seeing something suspicious. Yes, I saw something, I said with a strong voice. The DPO became more interested in what I had to say. What did you see? He asked. I honestly told him about the package I saw, with one of the pilots trying to hide. The DPO expression changed and he nodded. We know what you are talking about, and we know the big man who owns the briefcase, he said. And we know you didn't mention it to anyone. Or did you tell anyone? I shook my head, feeling a sense of determination. I didn't say anything, but now that I'm being tortured, I will make sure the world hears about it. The MD is a drug dealer. I will expose him, I said. The DPO smiled, a cold calculating smile. That's exactly why we can't let you go, he said. You see, Pilot Williams, the people behind your problem are powerful, and they have paid us well to deal with you. I was shocked. The police were openly admitting to taking bribes. I felt a wave of anger all over me. The DPO continued, you saw what you weren't supposed to see, and now you are a liability. You have to get rid of you. The DPO's words were like a punch to the stomach. I felt powerless, trapped in a system that was designed to crush me. We are going to take you to court, and we are going to make sure you are in jail, the DPO said. His voice was full of malice. I think he hates me. You will never have a chance to expose the MD. I knew I was in trouble, but I refused to give up. Meanwhile, Mary was planning her move. She told the MD she wanted to reward him for giving her a job, and he fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. He took her to a hotel, and Mary secretly planted a camera behind the bed. As the MD removed his dress, the camera captured the video of his naked body. The MD had no idea what was going on. Mary played along, pretending to be interested in the MD and bedroom action. But as soon as she got the chance, she started vomiting, claiming she wasn't feeling well. The MD allowed her to leave, and she left with the video, smiling to herself. She knew she had something to use against him. Mary brought the video to the station and showed it to me secretly. I was amazed at her bravery. I need one more thing against the MD, she said. She was very determined, and I need to get it before the case goes to court. I nodded, knowing that she would stop at nothing to clear my name. The video was incriminating, and I knew it would be useful to free me. But I also knew that the MD would stop at nothing to silence us. We were playing with fire, and we knew it. He is Israel rich, powerful, and wicked, but we were determined to expose the truth no matter what. As I sat in my cell, I thought about the MD and his corrupt ways. I knew he would do anything to protect himself, but I was ready for him. Mary and I were a team. and we would bring him down together. The thought gave me hope, and I knew that I would fight to the end. The days passed slowly, but Mary continued to gather evidence. She was a one woman army, fighting against corruption and injustice. I was grateful for her love and support, and I knew that I couldn't have made it without her. The case was building up, and I knew it wouldn't be long before we went to court. I had a good lawyer, but the person I was really trusting was Mary. Only she can free me. I was nervous, but I was also determined. As I lay in my cell, I thought about the future. Would I be able to clear my name? Would I be able to expose the MD? Will Mary succeed in her plans against the MD? I don't know what is coming next.